Hi, this is Barrett Givens. I'm the chair of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics at Cal Poly Pomona. This video is to go over the basics of the requirements for the math major, the core courses, and a rough four-year plan. Be sure to check out the other videos depending upon your option and your interest to make sure that you get all the information you need for advising. So all of the required content for math majors are this is the required content: calculus and multivariable calculus, computational methods, so that's like a programming class, but with a focus on mathematical topics, linear algebra and differential equations, how to read and write mathematical proofs, real analysis, abstract algebra, advanced linear algebra, complex analysis, and probability and statistics. So that's all the required content. In addition, there's two options or subplans. One of them is the pure/secondary teacher prep option, and the other one is the applied mathematics/statistics option. For each option, you'll choose 16 units of additional math courses from a list. If you want to become a high school math teacher, you should definitely be aware that there is a special list called the Subject Matter Competency List, and we will have a video about that soon, and you should definitely watch that video. For other careers, you should talk to the Career Center or perhaps talk to an advisor to help you choose which would be good option courses for you to take from the lists. The degree generally starts off with the year of calculus, and depending upon your original math placement, you might need to first start with algebra and trigonometry, or one or the other, or both, or you might start in Calculus 1. Or if you have AP credit or some kind of transfer credit, you might start in Calc 2 or even in Calc 3. But after you get through that first year of calculus, then things really open up. That second calculus course is a prerequisite for a number of other courses in the core. So after you're taking that second calculus course, you have this list of 5 courses in the degree that you can choose from. You could take the start this probability and stats pathway. You could take the computational methods class. You could take more calculus, linear algebra and DEs, or proofs. And so once you finish that Calculus 2 class, you probably want to be taking at least 2 of the 5 classes that come after it there, or possibly even 3, depending upon how gung-ho you are and how much time you have left to graduation. After the proofs class, you can see there are 4 more abstract mathematics courses that have the proofs class as a prerequisite. So you don't want to put that proofs class off for too long. You want to do that one kind of as soon as you can. And then those 4 courses, analysis, algebra, complex analysis, and advanced linear algebra, those are probably the 4 hardest courses in the major. So I do not recommend taking all 4 of those at once. Right after you take the proofs class, I recommend only taking one of those just to kind of learn a little bit about what's expected at that level and that kind of abstraction in mathematics. And you can take them in different orders. I don't think that between analysis and algebra, they're maybe comparable in difficulty, and the advanced linear algebra and the complex analysis are sort of comparable in difficulty too. So you can kind of switch the order of those depending upon what fits better in your schedule. Don't forget that there's also 16 units of required option courses in addition to these core courses that all majors take. And then there's also a physics and biology requirement. For the physics and biology, there's sort of 2 pathways you can choose from. Pathway 1 is that you can take a full year of calculus-based physics, that's physics 1510 and 1520, plus their labs. And then if you're going to do that full year of physics, you can take any Area B2 life sciences course that you would be taking anyway for GE. On the other hand, Pathway 2 is the pathway for people that might be interested in mathematical biology or in biostatistics, and so they want to do a more serious biology class. And so if you want to follow that pathway, you would need to take the full year of biology, Bio 1210 and Bio 1220 with their labs. If you do that, then you only need to take the first semester of physics. And so those are up to you. You can take either one of those pathways you want, depending upon your interests. A typical 4-year plan then might look like, well, if you start in calculus, then that first term you'll be able to take calculus and other GE courses. In the spring, you can keep taking more calculus, more GE courses. This might be a good time to also try to decide whether you're going to take the physics or biology pathway described on the previous slide. So depending on what you're going to do, you would either take biology 1210, or if you're going to take any biology GE course, I might recommend Bio 1110. In your sophomore year, you're going to want to start taking 2 or more math classes at once in order to get through the core material. So maybe in your fall semester, you could take multivariable calculus and linear algebra and DEs. You want to get started on that physics sequence and another GE course. And the second half of that year, you could take the computational methods course, which is the programming course, and the intro proofs course, because it's so important for as a prerequisite for later courses. Then maybe finish up the science requirement as described in the last slide. You have a choice, and a GE course. In years 3 and 4, you're going to start taking 3 or 4 math courses at a time. And so in that third year, perhaps you want to take the statistics sequence. You could take the real analysis, Math 3140, and abstract algebra, Math 4170. And remember that those 2 can actually be switched in order. Neither one really comes before the other, so whichever fits your schedule or whichever one you have more interest in. And at this point, I start suggesting that you would want to take 1 or 2 core courses each term and then 1 or 2 subplan courses each term. In general, we only offer a few subplan courses each term, so if you save them all up until the end and you just do the core first, you're going to get yourself in a bind because you're only going to have a couple of subplan courses you can take. So you want to be kind of sprinkling those subplan courses in during your last 2 years, wherever you can get in 1 or 2. In general, you're probably going to need 6 subplan courses. So if you did like 1 here in the fall, 1 here in the spring, and then the next year you did 2 here and 2 here, that would get you through the 6 subplan courses that you need. Similarly here, Math 4280 and 4190 don't have to be taken in this order. You could take them both in fall or both in spring, or you could switch the order. Whatever works with your schedule. Just remember that those are both some pretty challenging courses, so I do sort of recommend that you separate them into 2 separate terms. Finally, there are just general university requirements. The number 1 university requirement is that every graduate has to have 120 units of classes. It is possible to finish the mathematics degree and end up with less than 120 units. So that's why we have on the curriculum sheet something that says unrestricted electives. What that means is just that you have to have 120 units altogether. So if you complete all of the math courses and all of the GE and you're still under 120, you just need to take any classes at all to get up to 120. All Cal Poly graduates have 48 units of GE, and those include 9 units of upper division GE. And those 9 units of upper division GE cannot be transferred from a community college. They need to be taken here on campus. To graduate, you need a 2.0 GPA, and you need that in 3 different categories. Your overall GPA needs to be 2.0 or better. Your Cal Poly Pomona GPA needs to be 2.0 or better. And then your core GPA, which is your GPA in the mathematics, the required classes and the option courses. Every student has to pass the graduate writing test, or they have some alternatives for that, but you should be planning to take the graduation writing test. And then there's various other unit and residency requirements that you should double check the catalog or look at your degree progress report to make sure that those are all okay. So just some things to be aware of. Okay, so that's an overview of the degree, and be sure to check out the other videos for details on various other aspects and options. Thanks. Have a great day.